All right, so you're thinking about going for that fuel station manager job, huh?
Sounds like it.
Well, you've come to the right place because we are diving deep into all things fuel station manager.
And to help us out, we've got RoleCatcher's insights on the role itself.
That's right, and we'll be looking at the interview process and how to really get ready to stand out.
So let's not waste any time.
Let's jump right in. First up, what does a fuel station manager actually do?
Yeah, it's more than just pumping gas, right?
Way more. RoleCatcher's career guide actually says it's a lot about leadership
Leading a team, for sure.
and making sure everything runs smoothly day in and day out.
You've got to manage the inventory like a pro and keep everything safe and profitable.
It's a busy role.
For sure. Think about the environment itself.
Yeah, lots going on indoors and outdoors.
You've got customer, staff, deliveries, the works.
Definitely a challenge.
But there's some big perks, too.
Oh yeah, RoleCatcher points out the earning potential is really solid.
And there's room to grow in this career.
Maybe even own your own station someday.
Now that's the dream.
Okay, so we've got a sense of the role.
Now let's get down to brass tacks.
The interview.
What are you going to ask?
What should you be prepared for?
RoleCatcher's Energy Guide is a goldmine for this.
It really is. They've got sample questions and tips for knocking your answers out of the park.
So let's walk through a few of these together.
All right, first one, picture this. You're in the interview, they ask, describe your experience managing a fuel station.
Classic.
How do you handle that one?
Don't just give them a laundry list of duties.
Right, this is your time to shine.
Talk about those times you went above and beyond.
Give them examples of problems you solved.
Did you find a way to make things more efficient?
Who's customer satisfaction?
Maybe you came up with a killer promotion that boosted sales.
Okay, so we're showing them we're not just task-oriented.
We're proactive and we get results.
Love it. What about follow-up questions?
Oh, they'll dig deeper for sure.
Like what?
They might ask, can you give me a specific example of a time you had to handle a tricky employee situation?
Oh, that's a good one. How'd you resolve it?
Right, they want to see those leadership skills in action.
What if the situation didn't go perfectly?
Even if it got a little messy, focus on the steps you took.
How you communicated and what you learned from it.
They want to see that you can handle challenges
Stay calm under pressure.
and learn from your experiences.
That makes a lot of sense.
Speaking of learning, RoleCatcher has this amazing AI feature.
Oh yeah, for practicing your answers.
It's like having an interview expert in your pocket.
You record yourself answering questions.
And the AI analyzes everything, your words, your tone, even your pauses.
Whoa, that's wild. It gives you feedback.
Tips on how to improve.
No more interview jitters.
Exactly. All right, back to the interview.
What about customer satisfaction?
Big one. You know they're going to ask about that.
Probably something like, how do you ensure customer satisfaction at a fuel station?
It's not just about being polite. It's about going the extra mile.
Anticipating needs.
Solving problems before they even become problems.
Creating a positive experience for every customer. Making sure the coffee is fresh.
Yeah, little details matter.
Clean restrooms.
Maybe even some treats for furry passengers.
Dog treats. I love it. Yeah. Little things can make a big difference.
Be ready to share a story.
Give a specific example.
They might ask you to tell them about a time you went above and beyond for a customer.
That's where you can really connect with the interviewer.
Let your passion shine through.
All right, next up, what about the behind-the-scenes stuff?
Like what?
Managing inventory.
The unsung hero of a smooth operation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you handle a question about that?
Let's say they ask, how do you manage inventory levels at a fuel station?
We're talking fuel snacks, supplies, the whole 9 yards.
You need to show them you understand the whole supply chain.
So talk about monitoring stock levels.
Forecasting demands.
Ordering efficiently so you don't end up with a bunch of waste,
What if there's a sudden surge in demand?
like a holiday weekend or something.
They might throw you a curveball and ask, what steps would you take if you noticed a sudden increase in demand for a particular product?
Ooh, good one. I'd have to think on my feet there.
Exactly. Show them you're adaptable and can handle those unexpected situations.
So I'd explain how I'd adjust my ordering process and investigate what's causing the increased demand.
And come up with solutions to keep things running smoothly.
Okay, makes sense.
And speaking of keeping things running smoothly, let's talk about safety.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Huge. It's absolutely paramount in this role.
You're dealing with fuel traffic, lots of moving parts.
You'll definitely want to know you take safety seriously.
So what kind of question are we talking about here?
Something like, How do you ensure compliance with safety regulations at a fuel station?
This is where you show off your knowledge of all the protocols.
Training procedures, regular inspections, the whole shebang.
And if you have any safety certifications, definitely mention those.
Absolutely, but they might also throw in a scenario.
Okay, like what?
Something like, can you describe a situation where you had to enforce a safety regulation with an employee who was resistant?
Now we're really getting into leadership and communication.
Especially when things get tough.
So you want to emphasize clear communication and the why behind the regulation,
And the potential consequences of not following it.
but always prioritizing safety above all else.
Absolutely safety first.
Okay, last question for this section. Let's talk about leading the team.
The people side of things.
How do you handle questions about managing staff?
They might keep it simple and ask, how do you motivate and manage staff at a fuel station?
Another chance to flex those leadership skills.
Talk about your approach to team building, communication, delegation.
Providing constructive feedback
Creating a positive and productive work environment.
where everyone feels valued.
Exactly. But be prepared for those tricky interpersonal situations too.
What do you mean?
They might ask, what is your approach to dealing with conflict between team members?
Conflict is bound to happen, so how do you handle that?
You want to show that you can listen to all sides
Mediate fairly.
and find solutions that work for everyone.
All right, so we've tackled some tough questions.
But before we go any further,
Let's take a little detour and talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can really help you prepare.
yeah, we've touched on it, but let's dive a little deeper.
Okay, let's hit pause here and we'll be right back to explore the power of AI and tackle some more of those interview questions. All right, we're back and ready to unlock the secrets of RoleCatcher's AI.
This is where things get really interesting.
So we talked about those interview questions, but how can this tech really help us land that fuel station manager job?
It's like having a secret weapon that can decode job descriptions.
Oh, tell me more.
It can tailor your responses to exactly what hiring managers are looking for.
Okay, that sounds super helpful. How does it actually work?
RoleCatcher's AI analyzes job descriptions like a detective.
A detective, huh?
It identifies the specific skills and qualities that employers prioritize.
So it's not just about the obvious stuff.
It goes deeper, uncovering those hidden keywords and analyzing language patterns.
Wow, so it's like getting a behind-the-scenes look at what they're really after.
Exactly, and it can even provide insights into the company's culture and values.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So how does that help us?
You can use this information to fine-tune your resume and cover letter.
So we're highlighting the specific skills and experiences that really resonate with them.
You'll stand out from the crowd by showcasing yourself as the perfect fit.
That makes so much sense. It's like speaking their language.
Exactly. And remember we talked about the AI's feedback feature for practicing interview answers.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
It's like having a personal interview coach at your fingertips.
Sign me up.
You record yourself answering common interview questions.
Okay.
And the AI analyzes your delivery, your content, even your body language.
It's like having a mirror that tells you exactly what to work on.
It pinpoints areas for improvement and offers specific suggestions.
To help you refine your answers and really boost your confidence.
You'll be able to present your best self.
And let your skills and experience shine through.
Now, are you ready to jump back into those interview questions?
Let's do it. Bring on the heat.
All right, let's talk about dealing with customer complaints.
Ooh, that's a big one in any customer-facing role.
You might hear something like, how do you handle customer complaints and conflicts at a fuel station?
So it's not just about resolving the issue.
You need to stay calm, listen actively.
And find a resolution that works for both the customer and the company.
You want the customer to leave feeling heard and respected.
And be ready for follow-up questions.
Oh, for sure, they might ask. Can you give me an example of a particularly challenging customer complaint you had to resolve? What was the situation and how did you handle it?
Those tell me about a time questions.
Always a classic. Choose a situation that highlights your problem-solving skills.
And your communication skills.
Walk them through the steps you took, focusing on the positive outcome you achieved.
Even if the situation was difficult.
Show them you can turn a negative experience into a positive one.
Okay, that's a good strategy. Now, what about those operational questions?
What do you have in mind?
I'm thinking about maintaining a clean and organized fuel station.
That's a crucial aspect, they might ask. How do you maintain a clean and organized fuel station?
So it's more than just liking things neat and tidy.
It shows your attention to detail, your pride in your work.
And your understanding that a clean and well-maintained environment creates a positive customer experience.
It also reflects your commitment to safety.
Right. It's about setting the standard and leading by example.
Exactly. Be prepared to discuss your systems for cleaning, organizing, and maintaining the fuel station.
Inside out.
They want to know you're proactive and have a plan.
So they might ask, what strategies would you implement to ensure your team is consistently maintaining cleanliness and organization throughout the workday?
It's not just about doing it yourself. It's about motivating your team.
To maintain those standards.
This is where your leadership skills really come into play.
Talk about setting clear expectations, providing regular training and feedback.
Maybe even implementing a reward system for exceptional cleanliness.
I love that it's about creating a culture of cleanliness and ownership.
Now let's talk about the bottom line, sales goals and targets.
The numbers.
They might ask something like, how do you ensure that the fuel station meets sales goals and targets?
This is where we show off our business sense.
Your understanding of the retail environment.
Discuss your strategies for boosting sales.
Whether it's promotions, customer loyalty programs, or just providing excellent customer service.
It's about going beyond just selling gas.
Creating a destination that customers want to visit.
And don't forget about analyzing sales data.
Show them you're data-driven.
Use those insights to make informed decisions.
Be ready for those follow-up questions like, what steps would you take if sales were consistently falling short of targets?
That's a tough one. How do you approach that?
Showcase those problem-solving skills.
Identify the root cause.
Whether it's competition pricing or internal factors.
And then outline a clear plan of action to get those sales back on track.
Show them you can analyze the data and come up with effective solutions.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about building the team.
Hiring, training, onboarding the whole process.
What kind of questions should I be prepared for?
They might ask, how do you train and onboard new staff at a fuel station?
This is where we showcase our training expertise.
You need a comprehensive training program that covers everything.
From safety procedures to customer service standards.
It's more than just showing them how to work the cash register.
Absolutely. Highlight your ability to create clear training materials.
Provide hands-on instruction and offer ongoing support to those new employees.
They need to feel supported as they acclimate to the role.
And be ready for those follow-ups, like, what strategies would you implement to ensure that new hires are retaining the information they learn during training?
So it's not just about delivering the information.
It's about making sure it sticks.
You might talk about interactive training techniques, regular quizzes, or even assigning mentors.
Give those new hires a buddy to help them integrate into the team.
I like that, wow, we've covered a lot of ground
And
here.
we're barely scratched the surface.
I feel like I've gone through a masterclass in interview prep for fuel station managers.
There's always more to learn. RoleCatcher's Career Guide offers even more insights into this exciting role.
But before we dive into that,
Let's take a quick pause.
okay, we'll be right back to explore the long-term possibilities of this career path and wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts. Okay, we're back for the final leg of our deep dive into the world of fuel station managers.
And we're shifting gears a bit.
We've talked about those interview questions we've explored, RoleCatcher's AI,
Now let's look at the bigger picture.
the long game.
Where can this career path actually take you?
What's the potential here?
RoleCatcher's Career Guide gives us a roadmap for the future.
Awesome. So let's talk career trajectory.
Where do people typically start in this industry?
And what are the steps up that ladder?
You might begin as an entry-level fuel station attendant,
Okay, getting that hands-on experience.
working at the pump inside the store, learning the ropes.
And then
You could move up to junior fuel station supervisor,
taking on more responsibility.
overseeing shifts, training new team members.
And finally, you reach that fuel station manager position.
The big boss.
That's the goal. But how do you make that climb faster?
What does RoleCatcher suggest?
Give me the secrets.
Continuous learning is key.
Never stop learning.
The fuel industry is always changing new technologies, safety regulations.
Even new fuel types?
RoleCatcher recommends taking advantage of online courses, webinars, workshops.
So you can stay ahead of the curve.
Sharpen those management skills, keep your industry knowledge up to date.
So it's not just about what you know now. It's about constantly learning and growing.
Exactly.
What else does RoleCatcher highlight for career advancement?
Networking.
Making connections.
Go to industry events, trade shows.
Meet other professionals. Learn from the best.
You might even discover new opportunities that you hadn't even considered before.
Networking, continuous learning, it sounds like a pretty solid path.
It's a good one.
But something's been on my mind.
What's that?
We're seeing this big shift towards electric vehicles, alternative fuels.
Right.
How does that impact the future of fuel stations?
And the managers who run them.
It's a big question.
It's a question every aspiring fuel station manager should be thinking about.
So how do we adapt?
The industry is transforming. Those who embrace change will be the ones who thrive.
So it's not just about managing the fuel station of today.
It's about envisioning the fuel station of tomorrow.
I like that.
What could your fuel station become?
Yeah, what could it become?
Could it be a hub for electric vehicle charging?
Interesting.
Could you offer alternative fuels?
Like hydrogen or biofuel?
Could you integrate a convenience store, a restaurant?
Community space?
You need to cater to the evolving needs of drivers.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
It's not just about pumping gas anymore.
It's about leading the way into a new era of mobility.
That's the kind of forward thinking that will help you stand out.
Show them your passion for the industry,
Your willingness to adapt.
your vision for the future.
Be the leader they're looking for.
Okay, so we've gone from interview prep to career trajectory to the future of the industry.
It's been quite the journey.
A deep dive indeed. What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Preparation is key.
Couldn't agree more.
Use the resources available to you like RoleCatcher.
Understand the role catcher. Practice your answers, tailor your approach.
And never stop learning.
Continuous learning, networking, being open to change.
Those are essential for success in this industry.
And most importantly, believe in yourself.
Believe in your potential.
The future of fuel stations is in your hands.
Go out there, rock that interview.
Embrace the journey.
Become the fuel station manager you were born to be.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
And remember, no matter what career path you choose, preparation and a passion for growth will take you far.
See you next time.